Hi, I'm Robin Bensley. Welcome to Chow Time. Many years ago, my husband and I were friends with a Scottish bagpiper and his wife. Well, Bob Callender and Mrs. Callender, as she liked to be called, would have us over for visits, and we never left there without some of Mrs. Callender's homemade Scottish shortbread. And it was rich and buttery and crumbly and delicious. And so they have passed away, and Chow Time is dedicated to the Callenders, and I also am pleased to share Mrs. Callender's recipe with you. Scottish shortbread has been around since medieval times, a form of it anyway, but it's often credited with Mary, Queen of Scots, in the 16th century, and she loved it. And back then it was only eaten for special occasions, you know, Christmas, Hogmanay, celebrations like that, but now it's eaten all the time over there. We're going to start at the food processor with 1.5 sticks of sweet butter, and make sure it's chilled. And of course, sweet butter just means there's no salt in it. We're going to add 1/2 cup of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now we're going to want to process this until it is crumbly. You don't want to over process it. I've transferred it to a large bowl, and see how it looks kind of mottled, I guess you could describe it. So in a small bowl, I'm going to mix together 3 things. I have 1 1/3 cups of flour. I have 1/2 cup of currants. Now this is my own addition, but I just think it adds another dimension to it. And then just 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Combine those ingredients. Now we shall add this to our butter mixture. And this is when you roll up your sleeves and dive in and just start working this together. This looks about right. And by the way, this is the best raw dough ever. And there aren't any eggs in it, so you don't have to worry. I've got a 9-inch pie plate. I'm going to put the shortbread mixture in there. And with my hands, I'm going to start pressing it down into the pan. You want to try and get it as even as you can. You don't have to butter the pan at all, because Lord knows there's enough butter in here. Perfect. Now I'm going to put it in a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes. We will let it cool down completely. I love this sandy, buttery texture of shortbread. And I think it goes perfectly with a hot cup of coffee. I mean tea. I meant to say tea.